Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching this video. Um, my name is Francisco C. Just a couple of days ago, I achieved a milestone in my trading, which is this. Got funded by a company called Apex Trader Funding for a 300k account. Sorry, I blocked out my name just for a little bit of privacy. Hope you don't mind. You can reach me on the email there if you like. So got to this point. It's been quite a journey to get to this point, and I just wanted to summarize where I started from and how I got to where I am now. So let's just quickly talk through a few points. Sorry about that. So my journey was like this. I started some 25, 30 years ago on a very occasional and casual basis. At the time, I had a full-time job. I was actually a university lecturer in the area of electrical engineering, and obviously, like many jobs, you're very busy, and so you don't have that much time. Maybe an hour or two here or there. And also, I'm here in Australia, and sometimes it's a bit hard to be up at night when all the US markets are opening. So anyway, I just sort of do a few hours here and there when I could. I started off trading stocks, and then I also traded Forex, and then I traded futures. And, with the stocks, I think that's where I probably cut my teeth. I think my very first trading method that I bought it was like a DVD, and it was about how to pick the top and the bottom in the market. And I just can't believe that people would sell things like that. And a caution for any young, newer traders, just watch out. There's a lot of people that actually sell things on the internet that don't actually know what they're doing. And the way you can know that they don't know what they're doing is that they'll never actually show you their live trades or trade records. They'll say, "Oh, yes, it's my privacy," but actually they don't know how to trade. So I traded things on stocks. You know how you read about like all these people who became rich, the turtles, I think it was, the turtle traders, and it was just buying a break when the stock broke above its 20-day high. It was taking off, and I'd buy it and tried that for a while. Made a few dollars, lost a few dollars, but at the end of my first year, I was down. I can't remember what it was, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, but whatever it was. At the end of my first year, I was a losing trader. Also did a bit of work in Forex, thinking that might be where the action is, but I could never quite get that to work. And there was a problem there that different platforms had different prices, which is a bit concerning, especially during news releases. At one point, I actually was silly enough to subscribe to one news service where they traded the news release, and what they do is bracket the news just before it came out. Very, very silly thing to do. Anyway, having done all that, moved to futures, and with futures I felt more comfortable in the sense that it's a regulated market, and when you trade a wheat contract or a NASDAQ contract, that price you see anywhere in the world is the same price, whereas with Forex it's not. So Forex is a bit funny. I also traded options on futures. So, for example, what was it? Tried to sell an option on a wheat contract or a corn contract, crude oil, whatever. Tried lots of things, lots of asset classes, I should say. I also, I said it there, but I tried, it's part of the futures. I tried bonds as well. My trading started off as technical trading, and there was, technical trading systems were all over the internet. You could buy, this one for $50 and this really good one for $100. And then there was this really, really good one that cost $1,000 and so on, But no matter what I bought, I could never actually find anything that worked. And the other thing I tried was the trading. Somebody would be in a trading room calling trades. Not even sure how legal this is for those people. But and then you try and follow their trade, but it just didn't seem to work. I think whether it's everybody or just me, but I'm not good at following other people's trades. I have following other people's advice. I have to do things by myself. I guess I'm a bit stubborn in that regard. So yeah, I tried all sorts of technical trading, and then because of my electrical engineering and mathematical background, I tried doing things there using, I don't know, wavelets, Fourier transforms, neural nets, and thinking that we had the answer to everything in electrical engineering. But in fact, none of that stuff worked. Also tried a bit of order flow trading, and around about this time, I was also trading during the European Open rather than the London Open rather than the American Open, because it worked with my Australian working hours. I was trading using a depth of market on a platform called Jigsaw, and learned how to work a bid, work an offer. Like, if I wanted to get in or get out of a trade, I could always get in. I could always save 1 or 2 ticks on the price compared to just hitting the market button. I got to the point where I could manage large trades with a small risk. But one of the things I could never do was to work out, for example, I had a trade with maybe 30 contracts on some sort of European bonds, FGPL, I think it was, whatever that is in German, Vergibel. Maybe I had 30 contracts on that, and I said if it gets worse than 4 ticks, I'll kill it, and if it gets to 6 ticks, I'll take that profit. Do things like that, and I got to the point where I could work those orders and get in and get out, and when it wasn't looking good, I could get out with limit orders and things. So yeah, that was a good experience. I mean, if you save a tick or 2 on every single trade, at the end of the year, you've clocked up a decent amount of saving. But the problem was there that even though I got to the point where I could say I could manage that trade well, the thing I wasn't very good at was working out, well, was this a good time that I should be getting into the market, or should I have been waiting to some other level of price or some other time of day? And those things was where I was failing. I think that probably led me to a few other things, including some supply and demand. I did 3 or 4 different supply and demand courses, learning about trend and things. And there's a few good concepts in there, but with supply and demand, you've got this zone, and then price. You've got maybe one supply zone and one demand zone, but you don't really know where the price is going to go, and then it gets to that zone, and then it might go right through it, or it might react nicely to that zone, and then you can say, you see, I knew that. But if it didn't react, you say, well, I wouldn't just jump in, I would wait until it's shown me confirmation, and then I'll take the trade. And there's all sorts of things, and once again, I'm not saying that it's all charlatans out there. There are some people who are good traders, but I couldn't make it work for me. That's all I'm saying. Looked at a bit of psychology of trading and some good things here and there. Anyway, having said that, now 30 years has passed. It's now 2023, and up until now, I've been basically a trader that was losing a few thousand, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 each year, with very few profitable years in between. At which point I was thinking I probably should quit. I also had a business which I closed down. So after I left the university, I set up my own business, consulting. And then with the COVID stuff, I had to close that down. It was getting a bit too hard because I couldn't use my office because of the lockdowns. And so then for the last 2 years, I've basically been without employment and just trading. I said I'll go ahead, and now I'm going to devote myself full time to trade, put everything I've got into it, full time for the last 2 years. And that's what I've been doing. And still last year I was losing money. Finally, I got to the point where I came across a guy called ICT, his name is Michael Huddleston, and he runs a free YouTube website called Inner Circle Trader. And he's got all these videos there that explains the way that the price works and where the price is going, and then he actually calls all his trades live, and you see him getting in. You see him. I was just watching one of his live streams the other day, and he's like calling things and the price is getting to a certain level, and you're saying now if that doesn't move a little bit more, then that's going to reverse, and the time is right, and all that. And it was just pretty amazing to watch him actually trading, and I've been learning a lot of things from him, and I've been integrating that with that little bit of knowledge or negative knowledge, whatever it is I had prior to that about other kinds of trading. So combining things together. And I got to the point where I've got one system right now that is working quite nicely for me. And that system, which I think has got the trades are always 3-to-1 risk reward. Oh, sorry. The reward is 3 times the risk. So I tried that. I've got this system now that works on that. And what I got out of ICT was where the price is likely to go, which direction and why and when. And so it that was the thing that just sort of locked it all in for me. And I think now I'm well on the way to doing well. I've got my first funded account. I think I've got another 9 more that are on their way to being funded. And pretty soon I'll be recovering 30 years worth of trading losses, hopefully. The other thing I also did a lot of over the last 10 or 20 years was scalping. And that's a really dangerous thing to do. And, because with scalping, sometimes the risk-reward thing is all inverted. You might be trying to get a reward that's only half as big or a third as big as the risk. However, you can make that work. So I'm sort of working on that in parallel with my other system. The other system is based on calling market reversals using market structure and a lot of ICT theory and some simple technical analysis and trend analysis and basic things like that, all put together with a risk management wrapped around it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So having got to this point now, that the 2 years of full-time trading and essentially being unemployed and full-time trading has now come to fruition. And the other thing I had to do was to stay up and trade the US Open, because I worked out that everything else is a waste of time. Trading the European session is a waste of time. Trading the US afternoon is a waste of time. And the US Open is where the action is. So even though I'm staying up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning every night now, at least I'm getting the right action. I'm in the right place at the right time. So I just wanted to say this is where I started and that's where I'm at. And the biggest credit of all would have to go to Michael Huddleston, who's given a lot of information away for free. And all of the things he said are kind of head and shoulders above, much better than all the other things that I've paid for from other mentors, whereas this guy's giving it away for free. So a big thank you to Michael, and thank you to all the viewers for watching this long and possibly boring presentation. I wish you all careful, safe trading and the best of luck. Cheers.